What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're going to talk about DC K.O. Knightfight issue number 2. This is 2 of 4. This one's written by Joshua Williamson. This one is also drawn by Dan Mora, and to be honest, this one's just kind of okay. It just feels like kind of a cash grab. It's just an excuse for Batman to fight variants of the Bat family, but not really the actual versions of themselves, because like the Heart of Apocalypse is just kind of almost forming like some sort of constructs of them. So it kind of takes away some of, I guess, the dramatic tension. It's just kind of a big what if scenario, Batman fighting the Bat family, but it's elevated by some really awesome Dan Mora artwork. I mean, all things considered in terms of the DC K.O. event, I don't know what this is really like leading to. It just feels like an excuse, like I said, for Batman to fight various members of the Bat family, and not even really them, but it's stuff we've kind of seen before over the years. So it doesn't really add anything new or really kind of help elevate the storyline. I guess this is just sort of a punishment for Batman for kind of having his out of like his way to kind of cheat in the tournament in case he were to die or something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and summarize what happens. You can see it enters all fight month, so Batman's gonna be fighting all these things. This one he fights the Nightwing variant, and he basically, they're trying to play around with his mind, saying, oh, this isn't real, you did all these crazy things, Bruce. And of course he's like, Dick is trusting, but he's not an idiot like this, and he kind of stops him. Then he warps into another kind of reality where Jason Todd is Batman, and the Jason bat suit looks pretty cool. He's got the red hood look to it, and Jason in this version thinks he's Clayface, and then Batman's like, wait a minute, if you think I'm Clayface, I'm just going to utilize that in this fight. So now Batman is acting like Clayface or something. I guess that's kind of the interesting reveal at the end. But again, it doesn't really add much. It's just kind of seeing the various futures of them as Batman. Or Dick has like an army of Robins. Jason just bottled the city up like it's one of Brainiac's bottled cities and just kind of cut it off. And there's been no crime for 20 years because it's all blocked off or something in this thing. And he thinks he's Clayface. But yeah, I mean, the artwork by Dan Mora is really freaking good. I just wish it was utilized on a bit of a stronger storyline with stuff that we like. I mean, again, if they were to do something really interesting and different with it, like show us a different possible future that, like, okay, that's something kind of new, then maybe we'll see it. But it looks like he's just going to go through the different Robins. So the next one is clearly going to be Tim. It's going to move from Jason to Tim. And then the last one should be Damian. Now that one, because he's my favorite of the 4, we'll see what they do with that. I know Williamson wrote a lot of Damian stuff over the years, so maybe he'll do something interesting with that one. But as it stands for right now, this one just felt like, okay, it's stuff we've kind of seen before, but it's elevated by some really awesome Dan Mora artwork. So if you want to just see it for the cool Dan Mora artwork, then I guess check it out. But I mean, the solution was, we all know this is a ruse. Like, we all know it's kind of in his head, or the Heart of Apocalypse is messing with him. So these aren't really even like the real versions of these characters, unless he did jump to a multiversal thing. But then now he's like, oh, I'm Clayface in this reality, so I'm going to utilize my Clayface powers. It kind of makes me think back to, what was it, it kind of makes me think of Space Jam. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but where Michael Jordan realizes he's in Looney Tune land and he can kind of do something kind of ridiculous in that regards, where he stretches his arm or whatever, and Batman's like, wait a minute, this is a fake reality. I can kind of do all this crazy stuff. Oh, okay, I'm Clayface now. So it's a weird comparison, but it's just what my mind kind of went to. But yeah, I mean, all things considered, it's just kind of an all right comic book, elevated by some really strong Dan Mora artwork. And now we're going to go see Batman fight Jason Todd in this thing, and then he's going to go fight Tim Drake, and then he'll fight Damian. All as Batman, just to prove that Bruce is the most superior. At least that's where I'm thinking it's going. But these aren't really the real versions of them, are they? They're like projections or constructs from the Heart of Apocalypse for cheating in the tournament, like as this form of punishment. So yeah. All right. Well, I mean, the rules of this tournament are kind of all over the place anyway, so we'll see if that maybe happens for some of the other characters if they do stuff. I don't exactly know. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the issue. It's all right. Stuff we've seen before, but really good artwork. So yeah. All right, but that's all I have to say. What did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. I'll be back again probably later on with some more DC books. This is the one I'm just getting to this morning, and I got to read some of the other things, and then we'll go on from there. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you all later. Peace out.